Video games love an underdog story. We're used to the routine, starting with nothing, scraping for ammo, hiding in shadows, and slowly leveling up to eventually face a massive final threat. But sometimes you don't want the struggle. Sometimes you just want the raw, unfiltered power. In Asura's Wrath, you aren't just a soldier, you are a betrayed demigod fueled by a rage so potent it can shatter planets. While many games focus on the struggle to survive, this title focuses on the spectacle of your dominance. You aren't just fighting enemies, you are systematically dismantling a pantheon of gods who once called you a peer. Whether you're punching a finger the size of a continent or surviving atmospheric re-entry through sheer spite, the game ensures you feel like the ultimate powerhouse. It's a playable anime where your status as a boss is solidified by the fact that the universe itself struggles to contain your fury. Saints Row on V4 takes the concept of being the boss quite literally. You start the game as the President of the United States, but things quickly escalate when an alien invasion traps you in a digital simulation. Here, the rules of reality are yours to rewrite. You aren't just leading a street gang anymore, you are a superpowered deity leaping over skyscrapers and running faster than the speed of sound. The game empowers you with an arsenal of ridiculous abilities and weaponry, ensuring that every enemy feels like a minor inconvenience to your reign. You are the commander-in-chief of chaos. While the movie may have been divisive, the X-Men Origins Wolverine game is a masterclass in making the player feel like an unstoppable predator. This is a visceral, bloody display of Logan at his most feral. As Wolverine, you don't just fight, you shred through squads of soldiers as if they were made of paper. The real-time healing mechanic means you can take an absurd amount of damage and keep moving, reinforcing the idea that you are the most dangerous person in the room. You aren't just a mutant, you are the apex killer that every other character is rightfully terrified of. In Shadow of Mordor, you aren't just a lone ranger surviving behind enemy lines, you are the Gravewalker, a terrifying figure of legend who haunts the ranks of Sauron's army. Through the revolutionary Nemesis system, you don't just defeat your enemies, you break them. You possess the supernatural power to brand Uruks, turning high-ranking captains into your loyal puppets. Instead of being hunted, you become the master of Mordor's political landscape. You sow discord, engineer internal betrayals, and build a private army from the shadows. By the end, the orcs don't just fear you, they belong to you. The Darkness 2 puts you in the expensive shoes of Jackie Estacado, a mob boss who wields an ancient primordial force of chaos. While Jackie is lethal with a firearm, his true authority lies in quad wielding. You have two demonic tentacles protruding from your back that can impale enemies, rip car doors off to use as shields, and feast on the hearts of the fallen. You aren't just a hitman, you are a literal vessel for an eldritch god. The sheer brutality of your attacks makes every encounter feel less like a fair fight and more like a systematic slaughter of those who dared cross you.
Destroy all humans. Usually an alien invasion is a horror story for the humans, but in Destroy All Humans, you are the one holding the ray gun. As Crypto, you view Earth not as a threat, but as a playground for your amusement and a source of DNA. Whether you are using telekinesis to toss tanks like toys or melting entire cities from the cockpit of your flying saucer, the power dynamic is hilariously skewed in your favor. You are the superior intellect and the superior firepower. You aren't just fighting the military, you are mocking the very idea that they could ever stop your conquest. Sunset Overdrive. Most post-apocalyptic games focus on scarcity and dread, but Sunset Overdrive turns the end of the world into the ultimate party. As the player, you are the only person who truly thrives in the chaos. While others have turned into mindless mutants, you are grinding on rails, wall running, and wielding weapons that shoot explosive teddy bears. You aren't struggling to survive, you are flourishing. The game treats the apocalypse as a liberation, making you the most stylish and lethal force in Sunset City. You are the boss of the awesome apocalypse, turning a global catastrophe into your personal urban playground. In The Force Unleashed, you take on the role of Starkiller, Darth Vader's secret apprentice, and the game removes every ounce of restraint usually found in the Star Wars universe. You aren't a disciplined Jedi, you are a living weapon of raw, unchecked power. The game encourages you to treat the Force like a playground of destruction. You can blast entire platoons of stormtroopers into the horizon, incinerate enemies with chain lightning, and most famously, rip a massive Star Destroyer out of the sky through sheer force of will. You are the ultimate master of the galaxy's most powerful energy. By the time you reach God of War 3, Kratos is no longer just a Spartan warrior, he's a literal force of nature. This game is the definitive boss experience because it tasks you with the systematic execution of the entire Greek pantheon. The
The scale is staggering as you climb the backs of gargantuan titans to reach the peak of Mount Olympus. Every encounter reinforces that Kratos is the apex predator of his world. You don't just defeat gods like Poseidon and Zeus, you dismantled their legacies. You are the inevitable end of an era, proving that no immortal is safe from your wrath. Control takes the top spot because it gives you the literal title of director while granting you the powers of a modern deity. As Jesse Faden, you navigate the shifting, brutalist halls of the oldest house, wielding the service weapon, a gun that shifts form to suit your will. However, your true authority comes from your telekinetic abilities. You can grip chunks of concrete from the floor to use as shields, or launch heavy office equipment at enemies with the speed of a railgun. In a world of terrifying paranormal anomalies, you are the most dangerous thing in the building. You are the law. From enraged Spartans dismantling Olympus to the director of a paranormal federal agency ripping up the foundations of a building, these games all share one thing in common: absolute authority. They offer a necessary break from the typical struggle for survival, allowing us to step into the shoes of the apex predator, where the only limit on the screen is our own imagination for destruction. While an underdog story is inspiring, sometimes it is just undeniably fun to be the one calling the shots. Thanks for joining us for this look at the ultimate power fantasies in gaming. We will see you next time.